You're speaking to a lot of entrepreneurs, and most entrepreneurs have to do some level of sales. So what have been some of your biggest discoveries around the topic of resilience, which is kind of like well, I'll let you define it actually. Define resilience, and then what have you learned in working with salespeople? What do the successful people have that those that struggle don't have?
Yeah, look, if we're looking at resilience, I have a bit of a different perspective on it to most. I find that unfortunately resilience has become synonymous with just coping, which I feel just sets such a low bar. And I feel there's an element of resilience that is around how do you cope, but I think that's base level. I think from that, I see resilience as how do we actually grow and learn and become stronger through being challenged. I also see it as a proactive strategy, whereas most times people think, well, okay, how do you deal with a setback as a reactive thing? Whereas I see resilience much like going to the gym, where you go to the gym on a consistent basis and you repetitively do particular movements, and over time you build strength. And so through the use of rituals and practices, similarly to going to the gym, then you do those consistently over time, then you build strength so that when you do find yourself in a situation where you're challenged or something hasn't gone to plan, then it doesn't set you back as far as somebody that hasn't built those practices into their daily rituals. And I think from a sales perspective, I think that there's an element of building that proactively just to be consistently at your peak when you're showing up for every situation. And I know one of my previous clients, when I spoke for a national sales conference, and it was a line that he said to me that's just stuck with me so much, is he said, I want to help them deal with adversity, but also I want you to send them back out into the field with a little bit more air in their tires. And there's that element of sales as well, that you need to consistently have that energy and motivation and drive. So that's where I see that, somebody that is practicing resilience on these practices on a consistent basis, they're going to have an advantage over somebody that's just going out there and pretty much, slogging it out day to day, perhaps dealing with those hits and, getting set back further than somebody that has a higher base level of resilience because of the rituals and practices that they've done consistently.